Hello everyone, I'm back with another tutorial on South African genealogy, and this time around I'm going to be showing you how to locate civil death notices. Civil death notices are quite different to the death notices I showed you in the previous video in the way that they only began being issued from 1895 as opposed to estate file death notices, which in the Cape were issued from, I think, as early as the 1830s. Estate death notices are for probate purposes, whereas civil death notices are kind of the government's way of tracking the general population. Now, civil death notices are extremely genealogically rich as well. They're actually one of my favorite records. The reason being is that they list cause of death, which for genetic purposes is just absolutely fascinating. Some of the content you can expect to see on civil death notices includes the full name, date and place of death, cause of death, race, occupation, intended place of burial, name and informant of their residence, name of informant and their residence, and a date and place of registration. Now, unfortunately, they do not list offspring, which estate files do, so that's one benefit of the estate files as opposed to, estate file death notices as opposed to civil death notices. Sometimes the informant on a civil death notice can be a family member, but a lot of the time it was just the minister causing the burial. So, let's get into it. I'm going to be showing you 3 examples of how to find civil death notices on FamilySearch. Unfortunately, FamilySearch only, at this point in time, has civil death notices for the Cape. Natal, the Transvaal, and the Free States aren't uploaded yet. So, luckily for me, 80% of my family, my South African family, did die in the Cape, so it's not too much of an issue for me, but I am looking forward to those Transvaal civil death notices for the Afrikaans side of my family. So the first person we're going to be looking for in the civil death notices is my second great grandfather, Heinrich Eggesquist. Now, I got in touch with some family members who were able to tell me that he died on the 15th of April 1954 in Brakfontein. There's also an image on the Genealogical Society of South Africa, which has his headstone, which lists his date of death as well. So, now that we have that date and the place, I for one know that Brakfontein is in the district of East London. I actually went to school near there in grade 4. So, let's go to Ancestry here and go to my quick links page. I will put a link in the description to the Cape Civil Deaths, but here they are on my desktop. And we want to go down to browse the 2 million images here. I know that sounds overwhelming, but it's a bit simpler than that. You can actually try your luck in the first name and last name section and going search. Your record may be indexed, but I think at this point in time there are more unindexed records than there are indexed. So let's just go and browse through the images. Now first we want to select the year, which in this instance is 1954. So here, 1954. And then we want to go to East London, because that's where the little township of Brakfontein falls under. And for the most part, these images are listed in chronological order. So the first death notice you'll find will normally be from the very end of December from 1953, and then a few images in it'll start at January 1954 in this case. So we know that Heinrich died in April 1954, and there's 714 images in this collection. So just do a little bit of maths, and let's start at 180 and see what date that takes us to. So at the moment The date of death for this person here, Leslie King, is the 13th of April. We're looking for the 15th of April, so let's go a few more images in and see if we can find Heinrich. No luck there. And here we have him, Heinrich Ergiscus. And as you can see, extremely genealogically rich. This is birthplace is Germany, his occupation, date of death, and cause of death. Okay, I'm going to be showing you two more examples just so you can all wrap your head around it. Let's try and find the death notice of Edward Clement Roberts, also known as Clem. Okay, now my family weren't able to tell me when he died, but when I visited them in April of this year in South Africa, they actually took me to the cemetery where he was buried, and the headstone had his date of birth and his date of death on it. So now that we have that date of death and the town or district of death, Maclear is actually an official district amongst the Cape Province civil deaths. Let's go back and try and find his civil death notice. So we just click on Cape Province civil deaths again, and we want to go to 1933. And we're looking for Maclear. Just a quick way to do this, this is actually one of my favorite functions in genealogy. If you're on a PC, press Control F, or if you're on a Macintosh, press Command F, and you can type what you want to look for, and it'll highlight it for you. So we're looking for Maclear. Let's just click on Maclear. So not too many images in there. He died in November, so it'll be one of the last images. So let's go about 205 images in and see what date that takes us to. At the moment we're at the 26th of November. He died on the 27th, so let's go a couple more in. No, that's not him. Let's go one more. And here he is. It's a little bit faint, but that does definitely read Edward Clement Roberts, his age, race, birthplace, and intended place of burial, which is Maclear. That corresponds to the grave that I visited. So we know we've got him. And also cause of death here. Okay, let's do one more example. Let's go to my maternal second great grandmother, Ellen Marianne Heathfield. Now, I've known since I was very young that she died in the Great Flu epidemic. That's always just been common knowledge in my family. And if you go and look into the history of the Spanish influenza, as it was also called, we know it occurred in 1918, in the latter part of 1918. Now, I was actually able to locate her estate file death notice, which listed her date of death. So luckily I have that piece of information already. And also her place of death. So with that information, let's go back to the Cape Province civil deaths. And let's go and browse the 2 million images again. She died in 1918, so let's click on 1918. And she died in Grahamstown. The official registration district of Grahamstown is Albany. It also covers other little towns like Allisdale nearby, the town where my grandmother was born, which coincidentally is her granddaughter. Now there's a larger amount than usual of images amongst this collection, and we know that's because this is the year of the Great Flu epidemic. So you can expect to see more death notices for that year. So let's just go 500 images in, say, and see what date that takes us to. And this takes us to the 16th of October. Ellen also died on the 16th of October, so let's go a few images before to make sure that we didn't miss her. Nope, not her. Again, not her. And here we have her, Ellen Marianne Anderson, born Heathfield. Not that the informant or the person writing this death notice made that very clear. That actually caused a bit of confusion when I initially saw this, but it is Heathfield. And we can see here the cause of death, influenza pneumonia, which matches up perfectly with the oral history marked, passed down to me. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments of this video. And thank you again for watching. Bye.